Man, you
Oh.
showed me what to hang with old J, man.
Oh man, bro. It's been. I feel like it's been a while, man. Like for real, I really do. I feel like you've become like a well traveled worldly gentleman out of some like all of a sudden you look different. You know, your shoulders look a little higher. You know what I'm saying? Beard a little longer or something. Like what's been going on, man? How's things been? You okay? You all right?
Can neither confirm or deny anything that you have put out there. But I'm hanging in there, man. It was a wild, and then miss unfortunate, what I'm saying, um, bit of events. But I'm here.
Right, right.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
here.
Listen, I was telling the people, bro. You completed your apprenticeship. You are a certified entertainment electrician. You know,
Yeah.
you got your level. You was making sure the mirrors and everything was in the right places. You know, how was that? That was good. It was it cool for 2 weeks.
It was 2 weeks.
I, Give or take a couple days. You know.
I know I haven't been to the barber. Like, shout out to my man Byron. I'll see you some point in time. I'm under the weather at this point. Sometimes you gotta, you know, can't be everywhere. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right. Right.
When you find yourself, it's 12 degrees, man, and you standing on a model train platform, thinking about life decisions in a good way, though, in a very good way.
Right.
It's not good. That wind was cutting. That wind was cutting hard. With here I am with pneumonia.
Oh man, crazy, yo. But you survived. Did you? What is it?
I,
But did you die though? But did you die?
but did you die? Exactly. Nah, I didn't. I didn't. So I'm here. Had hella fun. I didn't have anything to document because I didn't go to any games. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kiri for sending me the text, showing me DeJounte Murray hitting the game winner, you know. But I was happy at that point in time, if you understand what I'm saying. So it really didn't
Mhm.
matter to me at that moment. But yeah, I missed the game, dude. I missed 2 games. What could make you miss 2 basketball games
If
that you
anybody
have?
knows what can make you miss 2 basketball games, is this guy. Shout out to DJSD in the comments. What's good?
Man, step or make you miss your funeral.
we know.
You-
We know. So be like,
yeah.
hold on, man, wait a minute, man. Hey, real quick. You know what? In the green room, we got my guy, our guest for like the longest time in a row. Shout out to Undisputed Champ. We're gonna talk to him, chop it up with him, bring him in. Champ, what's good, bro? How you doing?
How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing?
Man,
Yeah, man, what's up?
How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm hanging in there, man. I'm living, but I'm in between somewhere. I'm
Okay,
making it.
then. How was the tour?
If I wouldn't be sick today, I could say it was lovely. If I would have made it to the basketball games and all the other events that I could have went to, have basically if I would have had my cake and end it too, eat it too. I didn't want to say eat it, but because I feel like never mind. Anyway, um, you understand what I'm saying. If I would have, if I would have been able to do everything, man, I would be great right now. I'd be tired, but I'd be great. But
Yeah,
I'm hanging in there, man. Damn near
yeah.
caught
Glad
pneumonia.
you back with us. Glad you back with us.
Man, Atlanta weather. I get down there, it's 12 degrees. I'm down there with this.
Mm, mm-mm.
well, Jay, we're glad to have you back on the show this week. And of course, I gotta kick it to my guy, Champ, man. I saw the announcement on TikTok because you my dog. Had to see it for myself. 16
16K.
16K. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yo, hold on, wait. We got sound effects somewhere on here. But look, man. First of all,
Man, don't do the bomb again, because
man,
I saw the show, bro. You think I was like, oh, this dude.
Wait a minute. We got sound effects on the show. So we're gonna use them. So first of all, congratulations to you, bro. All right. And,
I appreciate that.
And real quick, tell us what it was like, getting to 16K, and then not only that, but 1 million likes.
Hey, that was a journey, man. It takes a lot of consistency and a lot of being tuned into the sports news. And I thank God for me to have a lot of time after work in order to be able to do that. Hey, man, can't do that without God. So gotta pay homage and give credit where credit is due, and make sure that you know that you're not doing it by yourself. And hey, God is the way. So you got to make sure that you acknowledge God, and He will acknowledge you. So.
Man,
hey, so it takes a lot of consistency. You got to be on top of the news. You got to be on top of breaking news. You got to be able to, I won't say, you have to be able to make your own stories. And when I say that, you have to be able to be creative and create storylines. I mean, sports is like a book. You have to be able to write it. And when you see a storyline and that nobody else necessarily can pick up on, then take advantage of that and don't let anybody steal your idea. Put it out there as quick as you can. Make sure you do all your research. I will say that. Do all of your research, because if you get so much as a verb wrong, they're going to let you know about it. So that is the key thing, is making sure you do your research. And like I said, and what I mean by creating your own stories, you watch some of my build-up videos to the games that we've had this year. That's what I mean by creating your own stories, in order to capitalize off things that you already know is happening, but turning them into a story in order for everyone to relate to.
Man, look at that. You done dropped jewels. We done mentioned God. You done gave us a diagram on how to do it. You know what, Jay? Hey, we got Bo in the green room. I think it's time to hit the button.
This is Rec Room Sports. Olympians carrying the torch, going where they don't go. We ain't lost. From the optics to the topics, we got this with synopsis. Think outside the boxes, like Jay on the mic or your boy K Witt. Joe is my coach, T Sweat on the mix. All sports, even if you catch fish like Nate Diaz catches fist. You need to catch this episode, it's a can't miss. We go live and you should subscribe, and X's and O's. We made our plan, yo.
Yeah. We are back in the building. Uncle Bo, what's good?
What's up, gentlemen? Hey, congrats on 16K, man. That's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm glad there was an intro in between, though, because I wasn't trying to follow that up. Like I got nothing.
Hey man, you know what's up? We gotta represent for the game, man. So I had to give you your flowers on camera while we got you, bro.
I appreciate it. And you're not gonna get a better introduction than that song, man. I cannot wait y'all put that somewhere. That is every time that song comes on, it's like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, you know what time it is, everybody? It's time for the Rec Room Sports Show. Of course, we are where we are. We do what we do. It's your boy K Witt, man. Your mama's #1 draft pick, aka Mr. I Made the Sauce. Okay, so this is what happened. We did a little experimentation. We tried to make Street Baby Ray's a little better. Put a little Worcestershire sauce in there. Put a little bit of sugar. A teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Mix it up. Okay. Put it on your ribs to bake at 400 for about 10 minutes. Watch what happens. I'm telling you, it's a secret. I just dropped a jewel on you. And we got my man, Jay on the MIC. Jay, what's good? You back from the road. Yeah.
Yeah. Except he's locked up.
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm
That's all
making
he
it.
does.
Barely.
Okay, so
Bo!
yeah, there you go.
What's up?
What's happening, man? I hear you were enjoying all those gentlemen clubs.
Well, I just like I said before, I can't either confirm, either deny
connection is
anything
terrible.
that we're saying has been saying.
Yeah, we know, man. You know, hey, it's a secret apprenticeship. I just was glad to share the great news with the people here at Rec Room Sports. So once again, you guys, y'all know what time it is, man. We're here at Rec Room Sports. We bring you the news, and we got our favorite correspondents in the building again. We got Bo from Football Talk with Bo, and our guy, Undisputed World Champ from TikTok, and now spreading his fame over into the YouTube realm. So make sure you check that out. Matter of fact, man, how was your inaugural show last Thursday? How did it turn out with you? Now that when you get to be the narrator, you know, and the opener and the closer, how did it work out for you?
It was great. Look, first of all, let me shout you guys out. Thank you for everything that you have taught me as I'm being on the show, because I know I ask you guys a lot of questions while we're off the air. So I thank God for you guys I thank God for you guys teaching me how to bring up the banners, because this StreamYard is something that I'm not really used to. But thank you guys dearly for teaching me how to use it. I really appreciate that. Shout out to the panel that was on there: PSP, Louise Knows Sports, Trey, Leaf. I mean, all the guys that was on there. Hot Take Kenny, go follow those guys. Brandon from the Block, you can catch him on Mondays and Wednesdays. Hell of a panel, very, very knowledgeable young man. And hey, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes on Thursday as well, man. I'm already writing the show out, and it's going to be good. But thank God for each and every last one of y'all for showing me and instilling your knowledge in me so I can produce my own show. I really appreciate everything. Thank God for both all y'all.
Man, I don't know what to say now, bro. You just make me drop a tear on that one, bro. We appreciate it. We appreciate you though here at the show. Of course, while Jay was on the road, he got a chance to check it out, and definitely I appreciate you and Bo for helping me hold it down. But he's back, so we're gonna get right into it, man. We had I feel like this was a roller coaster ride of championship games. There were so many highs and lows, so many turns and twists, and a lot of predictable, but at the same time unpredictable finishes to these games, man. So we're gonna jump right into it, fellas. So coming up next, the first game of the night that we're going to talk about, of course, was one that I honestly had my heart set on seeing some new, but we got to see a lot of great play, and somehow, some way, we got to see a lot of something we've seen hundreds of times. And let's talk about it. Well, not hundreds of times, but at least 5. So here we go. The AFC Championship: Kansas City Chiefs 17, Baltimore Ravens 10. The Chiefs doing what the Chiefs do again, right? Somehow, some way, man. Lamar Jackson, all the weapons in the world, number 1 rushing attack, and Patrick Mahomes just did Patrick Mahomes type stuff. You guys, can you tell me what exactly went wrong for the Ravens or what went right for the Chiefs this time? Since Champ kind of gave us a great intro into what's going on with his 16,000 followers, we're going to let him go first, man. Champ, what you got for me?
Hey, number one, a lot of that goes on coaching, because they only ran the ball, I think, 14 times, if I can recall correctly. They only ran the ball 14 times, and you are a running team. So when you don't do what you normally do in an orderly fashion, of course, you're going to set yourself up for failure at a certain point. Because why are you not running with Lamar Jackson? Why are you not running with Justice Hill? Why are you not doing what you normally do, and you're trying to out Patrick Mahomes? That's not going to work. Now I'll have to say this. People are going to say, well, why is Lamar Jackson throwing 37 times? Hey, eventually you're going to have to do that at a certain point in your career if you're going to come back in that game. You have to do that at a certain point. But for the coach, and especially Todd Monken, for him not to be running the ball is a flat out travesty, to be honest with you, especially considering he's from the University of Georgia. I mean, Georgia, we epitomize running the ball. And you have a quarterback that can do a lot of read options and do a lot of misdirection plays. That should have been your focal point of the game. So that's number one, what went wrong. Number two, hey, a lot of the fumble in the first half, that didn't help Lamar or that offense. The taunted penalties, all the penalties, the roughing the passer penalties, that did not help at all. And not to mention, although, two critical mistakes by Zay Flowers. Number one, the fumble and then the taunting. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to blame Lamar, and rightfully so. You are the quarterback, but a lot of that goes on coaching, especially with the game plan and the penalty at this point. Now, does Lamar get a pass because of that? Absolutely not, because we would not give any other quarterback a free pass. I think I made a video about this earlier in the week. We wouldn't have gave Phil Simms a free pass if he would have lost with the 86 Giants. We wouldn't have gave Jim McMahon if he lost the Super Bowl with the 85 Bears. We would not have given no quarterback in history any grace if he would have lost with a historically great defense. And neither should we do the same with Lamar. Lamar should get the same blame and the same criticism.
Well, tell them how you really feel, man. God dang.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Hey, listen, I feel you on that one, man. I can feel the vitriol in your answer. Jay, man, you back, bro. Let's hear what you think about the game in its entirety, bro. How you feel? Was it more the Chiefs winning, or was it more Baltimore losing, man? What you think?
To follow up on, try to follow up on what Champ was saying, which I dubbed it as the hard truth, seriously, because that perspective was genius, and I feel like that's the truth. Like, if you talking about even Trent Dilfer, I'm gonna give you that. Trent Dilfer probably would have been the only quarterback that I would have been like, okay, well, they lost because of Trent Dilfer. I mean, well, they still could have lost that game. You understand what I'm saying? With Lamar Jackson, he's more than capable. So in this situation, when you have a triple crown winning defense, first ever, it is time to put the pedal to the metal. Forget what everybody said you can't do, because I think that had a lot to do with what was going on. I don't know if Monken was just, he was throwing the ball a lot. I'd rather have seen him, with a lot more rushing attempts, maybe probably in the 70, 80, even maybe 100-yard range rushing. But to answer your question, I would say that it was more the Ravens just dropping the ball. Just dropping the ball, like literally, figuratively, however you want to put it. You get Odell in, which looked kind of eerie to me. He was featured like in the last some odd minutes for the fourth quarter. When it comes to coaching, I just really feel like the only hole with Mike Macdonald bringing the defense back together in the second half and holding things down. There was no reason for Mike for them to consistently try to throw the ball. I'm just gonna be honest. I think Lamar should have just said, you know what, I'm just gonna do me. I'm gonna run the ball. We're gonna get through this game. And it just live to see another day, live to see another game. So, man, it definitely, it sucks. This sucks. This is, we talked about before. Like I said, I was watching the show, and this is not good. This is not good. With all the free agency you have coming up, with the fact that, the only person you can count on is Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers as far as like weapons or offense right now. Aguilar was a plus. He was a plus because he came out of the darkness and the shadows of Philly glory, however you want to put that. But you don't know what this team is going to look like next year. You know they're going to save money on the running back position. You know that. But I don't know what to call it for the Ravens, man. They really dropped the ball. For Rex Ryan to even go up there on ESPN, and I woke up to Rex Ryan like, are you stupid? You know, over and over and over again with insult after insult after insult. That wasn't just a homer, you know, feeling bad because his team lost. That was he saw, you know, just like he said, you should not be on TV calling out cover fours and cover sixes. You should not be on TV saying, "Oh, they're doing this," because just like he said, if I'm watching TV and I'm looking at this and saying, "Oh, they're doing a cover three, or they're doing a cover four, or cover six," you can only imagine what Patrick Mahomes is doing as he's scanning the defense. So, damn Ravens, go ahead and hit that button one more time, man.
Damn, Slade. You sure know how to piss on a man's parade.
Yeah, they suck, man. They dropped it. They dropped the ball.
Hey man, Bo, I feel like everybody is on the same side with this one. Go ahead and put a bow on this one for everybody about what possibly the Ravens could have pretty much did wrong and what the Chiefs did right.
Yeah, so, you know, to pile on, because why not? They like everything they did was so against everything they've done all year. They didn't play their game plan at all. They went in thinking they were going to just chuck the ball around the field, which isn't what they do well. They were the number one rushing attack in the league. So the fact that they had 8 rushes to running backs is absolutely insane to me, especially when you figure when they did actually rush the ball, they were effective at it. So none of that makes sense. Obviously, losing the turnover battle hurts. And, you know, the fumble getting into the end zone, you know, you're always taught don't extend, right? Because bad things can happen. I sort of get why he did it for no other reason than it was just so hard for them to move the ball all day that he was trying to finish the drive. So I kind of get it. It's still not a great, you know, football move, but, you know, you can at least get the rationale behind it. But then they were heavily penalized, right? They basically had 100 yards in penalties on the day. One of them to Flowers, which was, you know, just a dumb play to, you know, spin the ball and stand over the defender. It was so hard to get down to that position. The last thing you needed to do is move yourself right back out of the red zone. You know, so there was a lot that went wrong. Obviously, some of this has to fall on Lamar throwing that last pick directly into triple coverage. I mean, we were drinking beer at a Wild Wings, not even watching super close. And you're watching that like, oh, that's going to get picked. Like the ball wasn't even halfway there yet. You just saw the 3 guys that were completely bracketing the receiver. You're just like, there's no way that ball gets through. It wouldn't have mattered if you had a huge guy like a Calvin Johnson back there. You're not making that catch. So, yeah, there was so much that went wrong. It's not that KC did anything particularly well. They didn't score in the second half. They only put up 17 points. That Ravens defense did its job. If you hold someone to 17 points, you should win the game, especially if you have all the talent that this Ravens team did. So do I think the Chiefs won? Sure. The way that they won is the maturity in the moment because they've been to 6 of these. Outside of that, yeah, it was the Ravens' self-inflicted wounds that really sealed their fate.
Yeah, listen, I completely agree with all of you guys on this one. You know me, I like to bring up the stats on the back end. Lamar went 20 of 37, 272 yards, 1 touchdown with an interception, the 75.5 passer rating. Pat, we already know Pat Mahomes. He did 30 of 39, 241, 1 touchdown. And one of the wildest plays, which I think was like a sign from God to run the ball, when the ball got tipped and Lamar caught it and ran for like 17. I thought that was the sign. Hey, maybe we need to do this. Something Champ mentioned earlier, which was that shotgun run pass option that somehow was not used in my mind, was one of those oblivious facts that I was like, why aren't they doing this? I think both of you kind of mentioned like the idea of coaching. I think that the coaches went into this and said, hey, they know we're the number one rushing team, so we're going to do the opposite. Now, once the opposite wasn't working, why wasn't that plan thrown out of the window and say, hey, forget it. We're going to smack him in the mouth for the rest of the game.
The thing that doesn't make sense about that is it's like you have the number one rushing attack in the league. So show me you can stop it and I'll change. Why are you just going to be like, oh, you know what? We're really good at this, so we should probably just not do that.
Listen, we on the same page when it comes to that, man. We look, Gus Edwards, Zay Flowers, Justice Hill, a combined 81 yards. To me, that is obscene for them. And they picked up Dalvin Cook. And I can't lie, when they let Dalvin Cook run the ball 4 times for I think about 29 yards, I was like, okay, that's the missing piece.
Hey, why in the hell did you sign Dalvin Cook to rush him 4 damn times? Can I in the AFC Championship game? Spagnola, I'm not gonna lie, he was playing Madden. I swear he was playing like a quarter defense, like the whole like he was playing Madden, and he put a quarter defense, and he had just number DBs, like his best, his fastest, hardest hitting DBs out there. Like you had Deion Bush out there, which he was out there because of injury, but they were making plays and they were out there being faster. You would think if that's that would be one way of combating that. Like saying, okay, well, they want to run the ball, then the only chance that we really have is just putting our fastest guys on the field that want to hit somebody, and see what works out. But yeah, it's sad because when you have that type of chance, and I swear, like Lamar running back 30 yards, you know what I'm saying? That touchdown, it looked sort of genius, but I was like, what are you doing? Like, whoa, like, I'm sorry, that's too much suspense for me, man, when I'm watching the game and you decide to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you're talking to me and I'm like, all right, wait, hold up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, what is he doing? What is this dude doing? Why is he running this way? To throw, like, yo, just take the sack. Like, forget this right now. Because what if you fumble? What if I think he's been watching too many Kyler Murray plays, man. I'm serious. He's been watching.
Go ahead, champ.
Hey, is it just me or have we seen this defense before? We've seen this defense in Philadelphia when Andy Reid had Jimmy Johnston as his defensive coordinator. Remember, Steve Magnola was on that staff. So we saw this before. I mean, we've seen this team before. The only difference is a difference maker, Patrick Mahomes, because, Donovan, he was great, but, he's not Patrick Mahomes. Let's just be clear. But we saw Andy Reid win with a tight end, with running backs. When he had Deuce Staley, when he had, Correll Buckhalter, some of those guys, and Brian Westbrook. Let's just keep it real with him because he was a Pro Bowler. And he had Stinkston and Trash out there at the wide receiver position. And much like he did this year outside of Rashid Rice. And, he had that great defense with Brian Dawkins. The only difference is there's no Brian Dawkins on this team. I think Snead is kind of the closest thing to that, but, he's not going out there being Weapon X, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if we're talking about hilarious receivers, then we have to address the Tony losing his mind on IG.
Oh my God! Oh man, he was like, Coach, I want to go. I'm ready to go.
It's all lies. I'm healthy. I mean, man.
They did that to protect them, and they did that, to, in my humble opinion, to protect you from, going out there and laying an egg, because he has 44 drop passes this season. 44 drop passes. I mean, I bet they don't give you the groceries. You might drop them. So
you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do like the replacements. They're gonna put the stick 'em all over his hand.
Yeah,
he's not even be able to throw the ball down. It's just
yeah, they don't give you your groceries, especially not the eggs. You might drop them, but you have 44 drops in a season. Yeah, I mean, and they put you on the injury report rather than saying you've been benched. And I would think that would save me if I was a player from an embarrassment of them saying, well, he's being benched. But, apparently he think of it in other ways, probably because, of some of the incentive that you're not going to be able to get in that contract come time to play in the Super Bowl. So that's probably one of the reasons.
What incentive he getting?
He wasn't getting
What
any
incentive do you think?
I mean, you never know. I mean, he might have an incentive in his contract saying that if he catches 2 passes in the Super Bowl, he might get $1 million. We don't know. And he might be trying to get those incentives in his contract. I don't know for sure.
I definitely follow that, but I'm gonna tell you, if you have in your contract, all you got to do is catch 10 passes and you didn't do it, that's your damn fault. Until you get that damn incentive, like.
Let's be real. What's his odds of actually catching 2 balls in the Super Bowl? I mean, you might as well just hit that button.
He messed that moment up for himself. He could have got his ring and
he'll still get a ring.
Man, but I mean, you never know. I'm gonna tell you, you know what? I'm going to figure this out, and I don't want to name drop. So I'm gonna try to get in touch with this guy who has a vivid memory of Andy Reid cutting a veteran off the Philadelphia Eagles, and not only cutting him, but making a public embarrassment out of him, just sticking his chest out every day, saying he's gonna start. He's a starter, and blah blah blah. Andy Reid pretty much put him out there, from what I remember, and I'm gonna get this story full, but Andy Reid put him on. He got on the sled. He said, "Yo, just push me up and down the field." He was like, "I'm not doing that." He was like, "Yo, push me up." They got into it. He got him to push the sled with Andy Reid on it. You know what I mean? And as soon as he got done, he cut him. You have him in front of the machine for an hour and then cut him.
Listen, man, break a sweat so you can go home.
At the end of the day, even if they cut him, right? He was on the roster, so it'll be like any other group project. He'll get a ring, even if he wasn't really a contributor.
Yeah, definitely. And now, real quick, guys. The Chiefs did win, right?
Yep.
So, as the Chiefs won, as we look at it from the Chiefs' point of view, are we ready to celebrate the greatness of not just Andy Reid, but of Patrick Mahomes, and definitely of Travis Kelce, who passed Gronk's record with not Gronk's, but he passed Mahomes and Kelce passed Gronk and Brady's reception record for a tight end quarterback, but Kelce passed Jerry Rice's reception record in the playoffs too. So are we ready to go ahead and just anoint them as like the next pair of coach and quarterback and tight end, so to speak, like we did with Bill, Brady, and of course the Gronk? We just gonna go ahead and give it to him?
I mean, 6 AFC champions in a row is pretty impressive.
I want to say no, man. I'm gonna say no, and I'm upset.
Tell us why, Jay.
Man, like y'all not seeing this, man, and I'm not. I know y'all understand, but y'all not seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm pissed. I'm so pissed about this. I'm so pissed about this show. It is just. So my whole thing is, dude. Everybody, and I've been very critical of Lamar Jackson. I've been very, very critical of Lamar Jackson because, I wish we had Allen up here because I'm sorry, but Lamar Jackson cannot make the Dak throws. I remember somebody was saying something about the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. I was like, nah, like you can't compare him to Dak because he can't make Dak throws. I'm sorry, but when it comes to Steve Spagnuolo, a great quarterback will rip him to shreds every time. Y'all seen Spagnuolo go out there and be like, yo, I had the blitz. I had the blitz. I just had to do it. I had no choice. And they out there getting beat, deep, you name it. But he's only left with saying, man, yo, this is Steve Spagnuolo. He's doing the best with what he got. Whatever. For you to have the best defense and whatever weapons that you have there on the offense, you have no reason as a quarterback going through the type of ridicule that you've been going through. Dude, this is no time to lose to Steve Spagnuolo, bro. I'm sorry. You look it up. Dude, great quarterbacks eat him up. I'm not saying this man is not a good defensive coordinator. I'm not selling this man short. But when the numbers are against him, like it was against him in Baltimore this game, he loses. And yeah, Lamar, I'm yo, man, back again on this. I can't fuck with Lamar right now. And I'm sorry, he deserves the MVP. But when it comes to, like, can you make the throws to win the game? No.
It's hard for any team to win if you are as one-dimensional as they were. You have 8 attempts for running backs. 8. That's a horrible coaching strategy. Like when Rex Ryan came out and was like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, he's not wrong. Like it was a horrible game plan. So especially for a team that's the hallmark of what they do. I mean, even if you thought Lamar could make all the throws, they were so one-dimensional, they didn't respect the run game at all anyway. You can be the best quarterback ever, and it's going to be hard to throw into those gaps because you got all of your defense playing back. That's why there was 3 guys covering one dude in the end zone, right? They don't have to respect the run. So if you're not going to run the ball, of course you're going to lose, because even if you are that dude, the defense is so clamped on your receivers. Even if you had an average running game, you should have been handing the ball off. And it's not like they were way behind, right? It's not like they were getting beat 40-10, right? Where it's like, we have to throw the ball to catch up. They were down 7. Like, you don't have to abandon anything. Your entire playbook still works. You held them scoreless in the entire second half. Everything is open to you. So this falls so much more on coaching to me than it does just Lamar. Now, Lamar didn't have a great game. I'm not saying that. But this falls way more on coaching than anything else.
Yeah, hey, man. Shout out to Urban Rod's podcast. Yeah. Ravens gave up on the run to not even try. It's inexcusable. We agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, I love this comment right here. By the way, Bo Crouch is the best Bo ever.
Well, he means on this panel right now because I'm the only one.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, we got to give you your flowers, too. Thanks for being the best Bo on the show.
Bo knows.
Yeah, exactly. Bo knows.
Yeah,
no, this was a really frustrating game to watch, though, because I wanted the Ravens to get through this. But, man, there was just so much that systematically just wasn't executed well. I mean, you could tell by halftime this was not going to go well. I mean, they were committing penalties, they were doing turnovers, they abandoned the run, like everything you could possibly be doing wrong, they were actively doing.
For sure, man. Listen, and we might as well put a bow on this one because we know that this right here was pretty much undescribably uncharacteristic for the Ravens to lose a game where they had Patrick Mahomes on the ropes, ready to get the rope-a-dope done to him and knocked out. But unfortunately, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Trav Kelce, the whole squad, they got to go back to Baltimore. The crabs are cold now. The water's not the same. The beer tastes funny. You know, it's all different now when you go back to your house. It's not the same because they were ready to taste that champagne in the locker room, in my opinion. But hey, congratulations to the Ravens for making it this far on a great season, and possibly congratulations to Lamar on prospectively winning the MVP. We have yet to see that though, but I can't wait to get to that
This
point.
is going to be like Dirk Nowitzki's MVP trophy when they got swept by the Warriors, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they just came out and did the full Amber Heard effect with the game plan.
Right.
Just straight shit the bed.
Got that one. Wait, we got another question from the comments. What do you think about the Ravens' chances of getting back to this spot next year? Thanks for bringing that up, Herb. We're going to talk about that in a little bit later, so I hope you stick around so you can hear everybody give their feedback on that question. But, we got to talk about that next game. So coming up next, we got the NFC Championship game, man. The Detroit Lions 31, San Francisco 49ers 34. Did the Lions fall asleep at the wheel?
I will go first on that one.
I swear at one point in time it was like 14-0, 17-0, and bam. But I got Jay say he's going to volunteer his expertise. Jay, I know you've been holding back on this one. You revved up for the 2 weeks off. So go ahead and tell us what it is.
That popcorn ready.
No, they what happened was Dan Campbell, he overdid it on the 1800, you know what I mean? And he was drinking and driving, and it was a straight vehicular homicide. They just fall asleep. They just drank way too much of their own liquor. That old nice boot liquor that you make out there in the Tennessee mountains, Kentucky back roads. Nah, they you could say the answer to that question. I guess you say yeah, but he drank a little bit too much, man. He drank a little bit too much. He didn't get to fall asleep at the wheel. He fell asleep in jail. You understand? So just as a whole, you would have thought, damn, they really came in here, they really went into San Francisco, and they have 17-point lead. Am I right? And I don't know. And then it drank way too much. It was just unfortunate events. Just unfortunate events. Like I don't know. The fumble, the Jahmyr Gibbs fumble, the drops, the fourth down drop. Like, damn, dude. Like, if you're gonna go out as a gambling team and you gamble, I guess that's how you go out. I mean, when you lose, that's how you lose. I don't know, man. You would have thought that was the perfect storm. Like, they're gonna come in. They're actually about to go in here and beat San Francisco. Can you imagine what that would have been? Like, but golf, you couldn't have played any better, especially in the first half. Even down to the last, almost the last play, man. Like, you couldn't ask if you would have told me that Jared Goff pretty much stays upright, doesn't turn the ball over, as far as, should I say, he doesn't cost his team, to win. I would have said they're going to blow them out, because you would have. There's no way you would. I would have thought that they would at least got like 4 or 5 sacks on Jared Goff. This is another game. Like, man, what's up with this script, man? That's what I want to know. What's up with this script? Because these games are looking very funny. We have a team that runs the ball, and they're going to go out passing, and they don't even try to run the ball, and whatever happens. And then you have another team that goes out there and gets this. Like, hey, whoa, y'all killing them. Whoa, slow down. Y'all really going to beat them. Y'all can't let them win. Like, that's what it looked like. I'm sorry. I don't know. But, damn, I hate this Super Bowl, man. But to answer your question, I hate the Super Bowl, man. I hate the Super Bowl, man. I knew we were gonna come to this. The 49ers and the Chiefs. I know. I felt like we were gonna get that in the Super Bowl. Of course, I had my picks. We all had our picks. Hey, the Ravens looked like they were gonna do it. All these teams look great at one time. But this is basically the Super Bowl that I don't know. I don't know, because the last time this wasn't very very exciting game. I don't know if it wasn't the most exciting game, and Kyle Shanahan, whatever. Going to answer your question, because I'm just going off in oblivion right now. But dude, it makes me angry. But did they fall? He drank a little too much. Drank a little too much. Dan Campbell. That's all, man. That's all I got, man. But
Yeah.
what?
Man. Well, Jake, what you go ahead?
No, I'm still sitting here like I don't even know how do you lose that game? How do you lose that? Huh?
We all in the same boat on this one. We all in the same boat. Let's get a Bo in this one. Bo, Lions. We saw Jay pretty much gave you the blueprint right there. 17-7. Oh, at one point it was 17-0, of course. Tell us what was more so the factors in this. The mind blowing experience all of a sudden just took place, and now we got the 49ers going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they have a huge first half, right? But the Niners score, just before half. They come out, they get it right back down the field, and then they have that untimely turnover in positive territory, gets them right back in the game. Now it's close, right? But I didn't really hate the fourth down calls, right? They were execution problems. The play was actually there, right? Goff throws a pretty decent ball, hits him square in the hands, he drops it. Drive killer, they happen. The thing is their kicker actually isn't great at distance. So I think over 50 yards, he's only like a
28%.
Yeah, like he's not great, right? So I wouldn't have trusted him at distance anyway. I'm going forward on fourth down regardless. So plus you're using the game plan that got you there, right? You're using the game plan that got you there. So they were at least doing what the Ravens didn't, right? They're like, this is who we are. This is our identity. We're rolling with it. Now, when they ran the ball and had to burn a timeout, that was a mistake, right? That was a coaching mistake. You pass on those downs so that you have the opportunity to kick off. You have your 3 timeouts. You can actually try and get the ball back without having to use an onside kick. So, that one, that was definitely a coaching issue. But, outside of that, like I didn't mind what they did. They just had a series of mistakes in the third quarter, which gave them, they didn't score and they gave up 17 points. I mean, it's tough to come back from a huge momentum shift like that, but they had their opportunities. They just didn't execute. So as much as I would have loved to see the Lions get there, you have to give the Niners credit for, staying with that game, because they were absolutely getting smoked in the first half.
And you're completely right, man. They were absolutely getting smoked in the first half. If Josh Reynolds doesn't drop the first fourth down pass, we might be having a different conversation.
Exactly.
And Herman Rodgers, you spot on with that one. That was definitely one of those plays that I think impacted the next few quarters, in my opinion. Man. So Champ, you gotta anchor the line on this one, bro. What are we thinking for Detroit and the 49ers?
Is it just me, or does the San Francisco 49ers have a way of coming back in these championship games when they're down by 17? We saw them do the same thing under Coach Harbaugh back in 2012. They were down 17-0 in the first half against my Atlanta Falcons and ended up coming back and winning that game. The Kaepernick hit the helm. So we've seen this before from the 49ers. Maybe not this same team, but we've seen a 49er team do this before. Number one, there comes a time where you have to say, you know what, look, I have to play textbook football. I'm right here at the 20. Let me give it to my kicker. I'm at my 20.
Yeah.
And even if he misses it, hey, you still, I mean, I just don't know how to describe why you have to be such a gambler. This is the NFC Championship game. This is the biggest stage. So for you to go for it on 2 straight downs that cost your team to lose the game by 3 points, 3 points. You make 2 of those field goals, you win by 3.
So let me ask you this, champ. Let me ask you this. On that 4th down, right? So you were going into it knowing it was going to be 4th, they were going to go for it on 4th down, right? Like that's their plan. You pretty much know going in. So they run it on 3rd. They pick up 2. They only needed 2. That running game has worked all day. Why wouldn't you just hand it off again and get another 2 yards? Because they were killing it in the run game. So why not utilize your ability to blow them off the ball? They've been doing it rather than put it in Goff's hands. Not that, again, it's not that it was a bad throw. Hit dude square in the hands.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're supposed to catch that ball. But, I mean, you easily could have just ran up the middle because they were giving them that.
I mean, but at the same time, you're inside the red zone. You're inside the 30 on the 20, on the 25-yard line.
Sure. I mean, that's not what this team is, though.
I mean, you're on the 25. I mean, if you was on the 35, I can understand your sentiments about going for it. You're on the 25-yard line. If your kicker can't do that, you might want to come down here and go to the foundry in one of these factories in Columbus and find you a kicker. And I'm pretty sure even the average Joe can make me one of them.
Well,
25 yards?
But you're going against but you're going against a Niners team that has had a tendency to come back, right? So you may take this opportunity to try and drive that dagger home, right? Because another 7 points right there changes this game a lot.
Hey, here's what I've learned. You have to play textbook football and you learn from your opponent. Like we always say down south, you ain't always got to get driven through a table in order to know it hurts. And if you look at Kyle Shanahan's history, he will show you what not to do.
I mean, I don't know if Bills fans would agree with you. They jump through tables for fun.
Yeah. Don't be trying to gamble. Don't be, in the great words of Jimmy Johnson, don't be pretty, be good. And you going for it all like that at a time like this, it couldn't have been more awful.
Well, yeah, but we're only talking about it because it didn't work. It's only dumb if it doesn't work. Because if it works, we're having a different conversation. Because they're going to the
time we're talking about it, Mr. Bo. This is the second time we're talking about it because the thing is, we've been talking about it in that Dallas Cowboy game.
Sure.
You cost yourself the number 1 seed by losing to the Dallas Cowboys, and you had 3 mulligans.
Yeah, but when you think about it like that, we're talking about it because of 2 games. You're 20 games into a season here. That's a pretty high win percentage rate. Yeah. Where your gambling is paying off.
Yep, your gambling is paying off, but at a certain point, you have to understand when to take the points on the board that's given to you. Would you go to a place where they're giving out free food? It's pretty much you inside the 20. I mean, that's pretty much you inside the 20, the 30. That's pretty much free food for your kicker. I mean, you're not going to go to McDonald's and reject a Big Mac if they give it to you for free. No, you're not. You're going to go in there. You're going to sit down. And you're going to eat. So that's what that was. You're giving away free food. Not to mention, I do blame a little bit on Jared Goff because you didn't target Amon-Ra St. Brown none but once in the second half. So a little bit of the blame has to go on Jared Goff for not targeting his number 1 receiver. But as far as Dan Campbell goes, I can understand going for it all. I mean, going Carmelo and risking it all. But as Carmelo showed us, you can risk it all and lose it. So my thing is this: you have 3 points on the board. You're already up 24-17. Kick the field goal. And my thing is your defense, your pass rush has been working. And you've been running the ball well you ran the ball well the entire game.
Yep.
So you can grind out that clock. And for you not to do that in a textbook situation, knowing that you're leaving points on the board, I can understand going for it. But like I said, we've seen one too many times. Especially, I mean, look at the coaching side from you. We saw him blow 3 straight. We saw him blow the Super Bowl. We saw him blow an NFC championship. And then we saw him become a head coach and blow another Super Bowl. When do you not learn from your enemy's mistakes?
Herb and Raj podcast. He had to bring up another Falcons collapse.
I mean, the Falcons on my team, so yeah, I can bring that up. So I have to say, hey, you learn. Hey, don't laugh at your enemies. Learn from them.
Right.
Well, it's funny. Don't eat that fast food. So the thing is if they're giving that out, it's not like they're handing it to you. Their kicker isn't the best, right? So it'd be like, hey, you can have this free Big Mac, but I'm going to try and throw it through your window. We're pretty close. I'll probably make it, but I might catch the edge and it might blow up on your face too. So, I mean, you don't know. So it's not guaranteed points with the kicker they got. But no, I get it. And I just have a different coaching philosophy. If it was me, I would have kicked also. Right? Like I'm just not as big of a gambler as Dan Campbell is, but I don't fault him for it because he's doing exactly who he is as a coach.
Well, in the words of a marketing team, which makes billions of dollars, when it comes to this conversation, fellas, I'm loving it. Y'all get
man.
I don't see it. I'm trying here. I'm trying. Come on, guys. Anyway, so right now, right, we're talking about a lot about the Lions. Something I want to get to, and definitely want everybody's opinion about. We got to talk about the other side of the ball. Brock Purdy, 20 of 31, 267, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 89 passer rating. And and I know it went viral. Everybody got a chance to look at it. We all heard one of our favorite quarterbacks, Cam Newton, describe who is a game manager and a game changer. We saw, quote unquote, one game changer lose and a game manager win. Does this change the placement of Brock Purdy as a game manager in the eyes of pundits like myself and everybody else, or is he still just a really good game manager? Like, what do we think?
So I'll be super quick on this. When you look back to rings, right? Guys that win championships, the game managers have a lot more rings than the difference makers because you live and die on their ability to make a huge play. And more often than not, in the playoffs, guess what? Everybody's good. You're not going to make all those plays. That's why Brett Favre ended up with 1 ring, because he couldn't keep himself from throwing across his body to the wrong team in the playoffs. He could have thrown that ball away with the Vikings, and they probably would have went to a Super Bowl. But instead, he's a difference maker. I'm that guy. I can make this throw. And you see Josh Allen do it. You see all of the big playmakers do it. Now, when Cam Newton did it, he did it the wrong direction. He jumped away from the ball. That's kind of weird. But, everybody else, they're trying to sling the rock, trying to play hero ball. And that's why you see guys like the Trent Dilfers of the world, they end up with rings. And it's not because they're special, but it's because their team is. And they're not playing above their team. They're playing within the confines of the system, and they're playing well.
Hey, shout out to one of our favorite people in the comments, man. The beautiful bearded bastards. What's going on, guys? Make sure you got some time. Make sure you follow those. Great content. And I'm waiting on somebody to send me the beard oil recipe or whatever y'all buying in the comments. Okay, we need that. Me and Jay, we need to get that. We need to get that beard oil
Here.
Recipe or whatever y'all buying in there, because I saw those beards. Anyway, Champ, my man. So same question, man. Brock Purdy, the last Mr. Irrelevant guy, is going to the Super Bowl right now. Is he still a game changer, a game manager, or is he a game changer? Because don't even trip. If I'm not mistaken, he got 48 yards on the ground too, so he did do a little bit of running.
That's what I was just about to say, because I always say this. people always talk about game managers and game changers. But we see so many guys with great offenses, great defenses, and they got a quarterback's dream. You have a good offense, you have a good defense, and you just have one of the greatest teams all around, but yet they can't get the job done. And if everybody can do it, anybody can. And we've seen too many instances in the playoffs where everybody couldn't. Now, is he surrounded by great players? Yes. But at a certain point, you have to make plays in a game in order to bring your team back from that deficit, in order to make sure that you're able to seal a win. And he made plays that were just unbelievable. And he changed the game. He changed the trajectory. You saw him taking off. You saw him taking risks. You saw him doing all of that. So the thing is, and is a game manager really a bad thing? If I'm able to manage something and do it to perfection and not make any mistakes and not put my team at risk, do we call, I mean, in real life, do we not call that playing chess while everybody's playing checkers?
I mean, that's Brady. He's lauded as the best quarterback ever. He was a game manager. He's not an incredible athlete, incredible arm, any of that.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But like I said, in real life, in football, they call that being a game manager. Oh, you do just enough so your team can win. In real life, in the real world that all four of us live in, we call that playing chess, not checkers. And you see that in boxing as well. You saw it with Lennox Lewis. He was perfect at that. I'm not finna stand there and go toe-to-toe with you and you got this power over me. No, I'm gonna stand out here, use my jab until I render you helpless. Then I go in for the kill. Until then, I'm gonna keep you out there where I know my domain is in here, not let you get inside, and make sure that I stick to my strength. And when I stick to my strength, I win. And if I do anything other than that, I lose. I mean, we see so many different quarterbacks this year with weapons that can't get done what Brock Purdy is getting done. You saw that with Tua. He couldn't get it done. Unfortunately, you saw that with Lamar Jackson. He had a great defense. He had weapons. His main his main tight end came back just in the nick of time for the NFC Championship. He couldn't get it done. You saw everything in this playoffs. I mean, like we always say, the ball don't lie. I mean, you saw Josh Allen not be able to get it done. You saw even with that high-powered offense with Matthew Stafford against the Detroit Lions, he wasn't able to get it done. So if everybody could do it when you're surrounded by these great talents, anybody would. You would see rings all over the place, because you could attest this. We've seen guys with offense, defense, special teams, and great all over the ball. We saw Phillip Rivers have that for years out there in San Diego. We saw him have MVP running backs. We saw him have a great all-time tight end. We saw him have great wide receivers in Keenan McCardell and Vincent Jackson. You saw him have bookends with Sean Merriman. You saw him have good defensive linemen with Igor. You saw him have a good cornerback. You saw him have a hell of a Hall of Fame coach in Marty Schottenheimer. Guess what? No ring. You saw that as well with one of the most high-powered offenses in NFL history in Air Coryell. We saw that back in the 80s. If anybody could do it, anybody would. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys didn't. Shout out to Brandon from the block. But he's getting it done. And unfortunately, and people need to start thinking about this. Cam, a lot of people want to paint the narrative like Cam had nothing. He had a great defense. He had great running backs. He had a great tight end. So let's stop saying that he had nothing. Because like I stated in the video that I made earlier in the day, if any other quarterback would have a great defense and a great offense, and you are a league MVP, would we give them a pass? No. So let's stop giving these guys passes when you have a great defense. I mean, Randall Cunningham had a historically great defense when he had the Philadelphia Eagles with Reggie White and Jerome Brown. That defense was out of this world, yet they still couldn't win. So let's stop giving guys passes when you have a great defense, because when you lose and someone scores, put up a 40 burger on you, shout out to K-Witt, then we blame the defense, do we not? So if the defense holds everybody to 17 points and you can't generate more than 10, who the blame goes to? The offense.
Man, listen. We first of all, round of applause for a boxing reference. Okay. Shout out to everybody who watches Head Kicks and Haymakers with me and Botkins on Wednesdays. But yeah, man, you said a mouthful with that one. Jay, let's put a bow on this one for us. Brock Purdy, game manager, game changer, or just plain old decent quarterback, man? What you thinking?
I mean, excuse me. If you, I would say it depends on the coach. I would take it different if Andy Reid or even a Kyle Shanahan was like, I just need a game manager, opposed to shoot, champ. What's your coach's name? From the late '80s, Atlanta,
What team? Lehman Bennett.
football.
Lehman Bennett.
God,
Jerry Glanville.
early '90s, Jerry Glanville. So it's a little different from from one to the other. So I'm here. I think I'm here. All right, yeah. So it's one to the other saying, hey, I think I'm a game. Like Jerry Glanville said, I think I need a game manager, opposed to a great offensive mind. And not saying Jerry Glanville wasn't a great offensive mind, but you know where I'm going. Like it's just I don't see anything wrong with needing a game manager. And like I said, it depends on who the coach is. Honestly, if this is a coach or offensive coordinator, he's gonna wreck a game plan every time. He's saying he need a game manager. It's basically, how long is this ride gonna last until they hit the wall? But when it comes to Brock Purdy, man, like this looks like the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan has been looking for when him and his dad drafted Kirk Cousins. When any other quarterback that he has had, for Garoppolo wasn't. I mean, not Garoppolo, but Garoppolo. He wasn't it. He had the mobility, but it's just something about him in that pocket, man. When somebody puts contact on him, and then I don't think Trey Lance was a Shanahan decision. I don't think Shanahan, and he took a lot of blame in some things. Maybe it was, but maybe he said maybe he found that athletic quarterback with the arm that he wanted. But he found his guy. He knows when to get the hell out of there, and he knows when to make a pass. And I'm gonna be honest, that one Shanahan moment in the Super Bowl, I put it more on the Garoppolo, because if he executes and he makes that play, I really think that we're talking about the 49ers winning that Super Bowl. That was just execution. It was a good play call in the sense of catching somebody off guard.
You didn't like that 5-yard overthrow?
Right. Oh, that was the first one. And then there was another play. I think it was third down, and it was like third and just in the sense of running the ball, running the clock out. I think they chose to throw it on third down when it was like, just try to run it and see what happens. And, but I just really feel that in that sense, I think the execution was the problem. But as far as Shanahan goes, like, yeah, he's been known to blow some games because, man, that playbook of his daddy's playbook, and what they sat in the shed and put together, man, he puts a lot of pride in that playbook. So he finally found his guy, man. Whether you call him a game manager or just barely getting, I just really feel like that he's it. Well, regardless of what he is, he's it. He's what Shanahan has been looking for a long time. And you see, Garoppolo problem was he didn't know how to get up out of there. He used to take some Mortal Kombat.
Oh, well, we'll let Jake come back and sink in again. There you go. Yeah, he's back. He's back. Were you done, Jake? My bad.
I'm No, I would just say that was it for me. He was saying Garoppolo used to just take the worst licks I ever seen in my life. And he just used to wonder, like, is he ever going to come back? Forget the game. Like, is he coming back to football? And he used to get bent up pretty bad, and he just didn't know when to get the hell out of there. And I think that was his problem when it came to Shanahan. He just didn't know when to get the hell out of there. And then when he ran, it was more like he didn't look very graceful, man. He just left a lot to be like very, I don't know. It was just weird every time. And Bo would know, like, he just looked weird running the ball.
It's why he got hurt a lot.
Yeah,
and continues to get hurt a lot.
Weird.
Like he's not careful about, things breaking down around him. And then when he runs, to your point, like he's not a great runner, but then he also somehow like initiates contact, which is hilarious because he's just not that dude, but somehow in his brain he is. It's like being in a funhouse mirror and then thinking that's really what you look like. Like I think he thinks right. Like I think he thinks he is just yoked, and then he goes and hits a 250-pound linebacker that still runs a 4.4, and then he's like, I don't understand why I got busted up.
Man, listen,
he definitely hears his own music.
You guys are completely right in my opinion about that. Garoppolo is a victim of his own bravado in my opinion. In the comparison to Brock Purdy and Garoppolo, like Brock Purdy can run. Okay. I think when Jay and I were doing, like a past season of the Rec Room Sports, I think I sat there with this is while I was home. I sat there and I watched those Iowa State highlights, and I was like, "This is crazy. This is who they drafted," and he looked really good. Garoppolo's issue is it's even though it's called running, it's more like meandering. That's a really good word for it. But he gives it. Hey, it is what it is. But once again, don't forget, guys, do us a huge favor. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow us here at the TheRecRoom Sports Podcast. And don't forget, let us know who's headed to the Super Bowl and who is going to win. That's the rest of that one. All right. So in the long run, we got we pretty much know what's going on already. We can see the future. Several weeks away. Super Bowl LVIII. All right. So we might as well go ahead and get to it because it's way too early. Okay. But right now, man, just as we think about it, because we're gonna go and talk about some of the losers from the playoffs. Super Bowl 58, man, key to victory. And we let's keep this one relatively short. And we don't have to say who you think is gonna win, but let's pick a side and say, okay, what do we think is gonna be the key to beating either team? Let's go ahead and start with Champ on this one.
The Niners, the key to victory will be Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
How many ways can you let him make plays? Hey, you saw what happened. You saw what happened when you don't run the ball. Don't make that mistake again, Kyle Shanahan. You have this is the best running back, the best weapon that you have on that offense. The best weapon that you have on that offense. This is arguably the most weapons that you had on that offense. So guess what? Run the ball. Use Christian McCaffrey in this Super Bowl. Use him like your dad used his dad. Use him and put him in key situations. Hey, and that's why I'm taking the 49ers. I think that life comes full circle for Kyle Shanahan, and he wins where his dad won back in 1994.
We got the first Super Bowl prediction here on TheRecRoom Sports, ladies and gentlemen. I think Undisputed Champ said we're going with the 49ers. I'm rocking with you on that one. Thank you, Chad, for putting that out there for the people. Bo, You can pick either side. I know you're pretty
No,
much an even keel guy, man. What you think?
It sucks because I agree with Champ here that the difference maker here is going to be CMC, and Debo being in the game is going to unlock some of the things for him, because you have to account for Debo, right? Because he can also do all the things, and you can't double cover everyone. So that opens up a lot of opportunities for CMC. And when it comes to the other side of the ball, KC just doesn't have as many weapons, right? Mahomes may be great, but outside of Kelsey, they're not exactly killing it out there. So both teams have a good defense. The Niners are just a better team overall. Why I say that sucks is they're in our division, and the last thing you want is a division rival to win and then hang a banner on you the next year. So I'm not excited about that, but that is probably how it's going down.
Jay, my guy, several weeks to contemplate life. You took a pilgrimage. How are you feeling about the? So we just keep it in short. We gonna get into the philosophical stuff later. What are you thinking is the key to victory for either team? You can pick which one, and how do you think they can come out? Who can come out on top with that key?
I just lost a huge bet, man. We talked about this.
Yeah,
right. I lost a huge bet, man.
Right,
huge bet. I'm be honest, man. I feel with everything. I agree with everybody. I thought Bo was going to lean towards the Chiefs because he was like, I agree, but and I was like, okay, he's with me. Man, I'm already somebody's personal slave for a day. I'm not betting against the Chiefs again. Chiefs, I just really think they're going to pull it together. I think the Taylor Swift saga ends with the world does not want to see Taylor Swift cry on national TV. You know what I'm saying? So let's just I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I mean, think the Chiefs are going to pull it out somehow, man. And this is going to be a rough game, man. Oh my God!
If they were going to go the narrative route, they would have let the Lions win, right? Like if we're going the scripted action, we would have had Taylor Swift versus Eminem, right? There's no way that the script writers wouldn't have let that happen.
Hey, I like that idea. I really like that.
See, I'm with you, but we talking about Eminem and we talking about a national stage, and I'm gonna keep, we're gonna. Yeah, I can't see Eminem, but I would go ahead to put Detroit out for now. And we can Taylor Swift is gonna bring way more. We were talking about young girls, we talking about like little girls out here calling out formations now. You understand what I'm saying? So Taylor Swift, the world does not want to see this woman cry, man. I'm just sorry. It's all about that with me. Man, Chiefs 20. 49-17, man. Watch. And Taylor Swift is going to get, just like somebody said, she's getting the proposal with, well, of course, Super Bowl ring won't be, given during the game, but she probably be getting proposed to right then and there.
He'll bring one of his old ones.
Everything.
Bro, listen, that whole aspect of it being a possibility that there could be a proposal at the Super Bowl.
I'm not saying quick.
I gotta give props on that one. I'm sorry. I got to. if they win and then she's on the field and he gets on one knee, and everybody know, if y'all don't know the social media tales, his ex-girlfriend that was on
and then he retires.
Yeah, that woman is on. That woman is on. Yeah, then he would rise off
money. Bro, money like they'll make themselves and the league if they decide to, if he proposes on national TV in front of everybody to Taylor Swift, yo.
And then Jay
flying down, son.
Jay, and then check this out. Then he looks at camera one.
This is going down.
Look, then he looks at camera one and goes, "We're headed to Disney World." Oh my God. Oh my God, bro! With Taylor Swift's hand in his hand
Together.
I like that Tanner's losing his mind over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My bad. Hey, Tan man. Hold on. Let's let Tanner get in here real quick. Shout out to our guy, Tanner, one of our producers at Let's Talk Sports. One of my good friends. He's got a lot to say. Let's say he's got Chiefs. We know this one, and then of course he's got a rant where he goes Chiefs defense in the fourth quarter. 0 points versus the Dolphins. 0 points versus the Bills. 3 points versus the Ravens, and you picked the Niners. Wow. Okay. Then we got, of course, NFC team. Hire Bienemy J. We got so much going on right now. Jesus Christ, Tanner. No proposal. Stop it. No, stop. No. It's if it happens. If it happens. Listen, Jason Kelsey's gonna walk her down there personally to get proposed to. Okay. No shirt. Jason Kelsey's gonna walk his sister-in-law to the field, and they're gonna get proposed to right there on the win. So both of them losing that. We see, bro.
100%.
We see. And listen, I'm torn. I'm torn on this one myself personally. I would like to see this be the first ever last pick in the draft. Never thought it would have happened in my lifetime. Seeing the Mr. Irrelevant be a quarterback who wins the Super Bowl, but I'm feeling a little iffy right now, and I'm thinking if you got the trifecta of Kelsey, Mahomes, and Andy Reid coaching, it's hard to beat, man. It's hard to beat. So I can't wait to see exactly what goes on with this one. And let me tell y'all something. If y'all know who's happy, more than likely, who's cashing in on all of this? My guy, Chris Jones, who decided to sit out that very first game and say, y'all can't win without me. Okay. All right. This wouldn't be possible without me. I think Chris Jones, of course, having signed that 1-year deal, he's plotting on a big, when I say big, I'm talking about a big payday next season. I don't know if it'll be from Kansas City because Kansas City still has a lot of money allocated through Patrick Mahomes, and I think Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys who back loaded his contract so that they could make some really good purchases on the free agent market those first 2 years. But Chris Jones, if they don't watch out, boy, Chris Jones gonna get that money. Hold on. Chris last game as a Chief, he's going to get paid by someone. Yes, I believe so. He's dumb, but he wants the money. I would too. After the type of performance he put on in the playoffs, I would want some money too. That is a definite. And I'm saying, like, listen, we all sat back and watched, that first week in football, and he's sitting out, and can Patrick Mahomes do it without him? And then literally they put him on the field. He got 3 sacks. Just tore it up completely. But hey, shout out to our guy Tanner Dawson once again. Okay, calm down. His playoff run hasn't been that impressive. He's been back there making a lot of noise. Every time they show the quarterback, if it's not a sack, which it has only been a couple, he's literally inches away from the quarterback just about every down. Hey,
you know what would be entertaining if the Niners do win is the absolute meltdown that Cowboys fans will have.
Oh my God. The Cowboy fans burn a hole through their TV. You thought they broke the TV that day. They're going to break another TV.
I mean, it's the first time I figured out why we need TVs as doorbusters every Christmas. It's because Cowboys fans exist. They break the TV every year. That's why they need a new
Listen, and I can't agree with you more on that one, bro. Wait, we got Tanner's up. That would be hilarious. I'm with you, Tanner. Straight up. Listen, you know what, guys? We got a tradition here on the Rec Room Sports Show. And being that Jay missed out last week, I think I gotta like put y'all up on it because it's pretty fun. You might enjoy it. I think it's really one of Jay's favorite parts of the show, and we haven't done it with you guys yet. Jay, are you familiar with what I'm talking about? Wait, y'all hear that? Can we hear it? Do we know what that is? Do you have any clue?
That's
Oh my
awkward.
God, ladies and gentlemen, it has not been happening anytime during the playoffs. Well, right now we got to bring it up, yo. Coming up next is our favorite segment. Oh yeah, everybody's looking confused. I see the confusion on your faces. It's the uphill battle, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. This is a game where we pick 4 teams. That's right, 4 teams, and we see who's going to have the toughest road to hoe to get back to the playoffs. But don't act like that. Y'all never watched The Price is Right? Come on, fellas. This is the part where I'm going to let you be the coach. I'm going to let you be the GM. I'm going to let you tell me basically who is going to return back to prominence here in the playoffs out of the last 4 teams that got eliminated. And of course, when we talk about those 4 teams, we're talking about the Detroit Lions, the LA Rams, the Buffalo Bills, and the Baltimore Ravens. Which team has the harder mountain to climb to make a deep playoff or deep run in the playoffs again next season? We even got a border for it. That's how much fun we do with it, okay? But all right. So out of those 4 teams that I named, gentlemen, the Detroit Lions, the LA Rams, the Bills, the Ravens, and this is pretty much put them in order 1 through 4. 1 being the most like the hardest road, players are leaving, coaches leaving, whatever you think, and then 4, of course, being who 9 times out of 10 is going to be right there in the same spot. That's so that's why it's the top of the mountain and the bottom of the mountain. So take a moment, think about it. We got some more comments I can read while y'all are thinking about it. Uphill battle is the Washington selecting the correct coach with new owners. Why are you coming for my guys, man, Tan? What's going on right now? Then Tan's got a quick selection, of course. He's going to go Lions, Rams, Ravens return, but Ravens have the harder path. I like that one.
So we going first is the hardest or 4th is the hardest?
We're gonna go first is the hardest because they got to go to they got to go through a harder mountain to climb. You see what I'm saying? Harder mountain going up. So yeah, first is the hardest, 4th is the least, and you guys can go in any order. I mean, in any order who wants to go first. Who wants? Well, Jay, you're a professional at this, right? Show them how it's done. Uphill battle with Jay, 4 teams. Who do you think has the tougher mountain to climb to get back into the playoffs next year, Jay?
You're muted, bud.
Yeah, you muted.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sitting there. I was complaining about the Rams and man, the Rams, dude. The Rams, number 1. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna go Ravens, Rams, Lions and Bills.
Ooh. Whoa, okay. Ravens, Rams, Lions, and Bills. And we're saying the Bills have
3. Ravens,
3?
Rams, Bills, Lions.
Ravens,
because
Rams,
anybody
Bills.
in the AFC, it's gonna, yeah. Anybody in the AFC, I mean, they're out of luck. I would imagine so, because what I mean by that is it's so tough, man, to get to the Super Bowl. When you're talking about Burrow coming back, talking about, so many uprising, CJ Stroud, like in the NFC could be a bit easier, so to say, kind of, but
I mean, the Lions are going to have a tough division next year.
Ravens, Rams, Bills, Lions.
Bo, man, you jumped in there. You might as well.
Who knows? What if that defense gets better? What is it?
That's another one. That's another one. Bo, you had a thought about it. Go ahead and jump in and tell us what you think.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the toughest road is probably the Rams, just because they kind of overachieved to get there anyway. And then I'm going to go Bills, Lions, and then the Ravens. You know, for the Ravens, it's tough because I don't trust the Browns to get the quarterback figured out because they haven't in 30 years. The Steelers don't have a quarterback. They have 3 backups, which means you don't have one at all. And then you have a Bengals team that doesn't play good defense and has a quarterback that gets hurt. So I think the Ravens probably have the easier path, even though they are going to lose some talent.
I like that one. I like that one, man, Bo. I appreciate you talking some realistic facts about my Steelers, even though I don't like to hear it. I got to be honest with myself sometimes. We got a quarterback issue on our hands, and I hope we solve it. Shout out to Danger Russ. And Kirk Thuggins, we would love you out there in Pittsburgh. Undisputed World Champ, my guy. In the case where, once again, we got 4 teams, and we're talking about the Rams, the Bills, the Lions and the Ravens. Once again, one would be the toughest road because they have more to prove or more to achieve. 4 would be the least hardest road. So in your mind, when we go uphill, who you taking, bro?
Uphill has to be Baltimore because the thing is, this year in that division, I'm not going to say they were lucky, but they did not have the quarterback competition in that division like they should have all year. Remember, Joe Burrow was hurt. Pittsburgh, they didn't have a quarterback. Not to mention in Cleveland, it was a revolving door. It was like the mall. You know, it's kind of like the Kansas section at the mall. Here one day, out the next when it came to quarterbacks until they got Joe Flacco. And to be honest with you, Deshaun Watson was not very, very good. You was better off having, Arch Manning out there. But I digress. But they have the biggest uphill battle, especially if they're not able to re-sign some of these pass rushers they have, mainly Justin Middlebupe and Jadeveon Clowney was a huge factor as well. During the course of the season, and depending on if Patrick Queen is on that, is in free agent at this point, I have to look up that information. But they have a lot of players that are in free agency this year. I mean, and Lamar Jackson just signed that huge contract, and you saw what happens with a lot of these teams that, hey, quarterbacks got huge contracts. Unless you hit every single one on the draft, you're not going to have that huge free agent or that huge X factor on your team that's going to be able to come help you. So help's not on the way. So, I mean, for Baltimore and that division, that division is loaded. I mean, they wasn't the only one with a great defense. Pittsburgh had a great defense.
Yeah.
Cleveland had a great defense.
It's the quarterback play that I struggle with.
Yes, I mean, and that was what played the entire division. Baltimore had the greatest quarterback this year in that division, and he just so happened to have an MVP caliber season. Next year, hey, guys are coming back and they're retooling. So guess what? I mean, especially the Pittsburgh Steelers, the only thing they really have to do is solve the quarterback issue, because the thing is this: you have a dual back system, you have 2 great tight ends, and you have a mismatch machine in Darnell Washington. That is a mismatch machine.
To your point, like the Browns aren't that far off from the same thing. Like their defense is elite. The problem is the quarterback play, right? And you know that in this league, without a great quarterback, you're not winning games. So, and that's why I laughed when I saw Tanner put the Deshaun is fine. Yeah, for $230 million, I want more than fine.
Right. Oh, wait, yeah.
Look out for that. Look out for Darnell Washington. That is a mismatch machine, 6'8", 250 from the University of Georgia. Mm-hmm. Look out for him, because I'm going to tell you, he's going to be a great mismatch this year if Arthur Smith uses him correctly. And that's a huge if, because you saw what happened with that. But you saw
No.
what happened with what he did with Kyle Pitts. So yeah, that's a big if.
But we also saw how he couldn't figure out how to use Bijan. So
yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Warren and Najee Harris. But Baltimore has the Baltimore, but you have to wonder with how he was running that offense. Was he doing that to be cautious because he didn't trust those two quarterbacks? Because we had some bona fide, we had some guys on that team that if the Arena League came calling, they'd be the MVP. So I'm just but yeah, they have the hardest road. Secondly, Buffalo Bills, their defense is kind of old. They're in cap hell at this point. They're only going to have $3 million in cap space coming up, and they're not going to be able to revamp that defense. And they have some terrible contracts on that defense, mainly Von Miller, and that's going to be another uphill battle because you can't discount the fact that the Jets are coming back with A-Rod, and they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. And plus, they have a high round pick. So don't be surprised, and I know this is probably the hottest take I'm going to have ever. Don't be surprised if they say, okay, we got Aaron Rodgers, but we're going to draft a quarterback just in case.
I think you have to.
I mean, hey, just like Chris Rock said, it's not insurance. It's in case stuff happens.
That's right.
So you got to be able to draft in case stuff happens. That Wilson is not going to cut it. Hey, the Lions, they're going to have probably the third hardest road, but you got to think about this. All of their players are pretty much under contract. They're all their key players except for CJ Gardner-Johnson. All those key players that they have, they're pretty much under contract. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's still on his rookie contract. Jahmyr Gibbs on his rookie contract. David Montgomery, he on a 2-year deal from what I know. Sam Laporta, he's on a rookie deal. So those key players that they have on Aiden Hutchinson, he's on a rookie deal. So the majority of their players are already under contract. And they have a deep draft coming up. So they're going to get better in the draft because they've been drafting like what as of lately. And they got $70 million in cap space.
Yep. Now the benefit to having all them rookies.
Yes, they have $70 million in cap space.
Their division's going to be good though. So Green Bay looks like they've starting to figure stuff out. So they're going to be a factor. And then the Vikings, they were winning games with the carousel of quarterbacks. So if they do bring Cousins back or they get somebody that's just competent, that's still going to be a tough out, right? So, I mean, they're going to have a tough time getting through their own division. Now, I mean, do I think all of these teams could hit get back to the playoffs? I think the Rams are the only ones I think potentially miss, but I think they can all pretty much get there. But yeah, that one's going to be a tough out for the Lions.
I think the Rams had the best chance of getting back because they drafted all. That is arguably the best draft that you're going to get in the 5th round. I mean, they drafted Puka Nacua in the later round and Karen Williams in the later rounds, and it led them right to the playoffs. And you got to think about this: Cooper Kupp wasn't healthy the entire season.
No, I just don't trust Stafford to be healthy all next season.
See, there you go. I was going to get to that when it comes to mine. For me, and it's hard for me to say this, but to me, I think it's the truth. I think Buffalo is going to start incurring problems based on exactly what Champ mentioned, like with the cap-heavy defense that they have right now. And I think that there are going to start to be some players who are going to say, I not to say that I don't want to play with a player like Josh Allen. I don't want to play with Josh Allen because of however it is. And then, of course, right up under that, I'm thinking about the Lions, man. And we've had several conversations, fellas, where I'm a Matthew Stafford advocate. But how long in the tooth can you be? I remember reports of, I remember watching, Twitter and NFL Network and things like that. His wife, who is a blogger and has a huge following because she's like his wife basically, and she's pretty good looking. At the same yeah, she is. At the same time, she was reporting that Matthew was coming home and complaining that everybody was calling him sir in the locker room, and he's not that old. He was like, "Yo, I'm not that much older than you," and then he goes, "No, for real. Like you were in middle school when I was playing at Georgia, so yeah, I am older than you." So, but does that mean he would retire or bow out gracefully? Maybe. I mean, he's got one ring, so who knows? Then next week, I'm definitely thinking in my mind the Ravens. Like we were bringing up. Big shout out to my guy Bobby G. Bobby said, "Keep doubting Cleveland. We like it." Okay, to me, when the division gets healthy, and I'm talking about if Cleveland can figure out anything as far as quarterbacking controversy, if somehow, some way Joe Burrow gets a knee and he's been running around with Adrian Peterson clones. I don't know what exactly is happening. And if somehow we get any of these free agent quarterbacks, in my opinion, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, and all possibly draft one, I think our division is very tough. So for me, Detroit may have the easiest way back to the playoff contention right now. The Ravens are right up under that, but we got to see what happens as far as what goes on in the division. Then I got the Rams, and then for some odd reason, I really feel like this was the Bills' best opportunity to take advantage of what was going on with them. They had home field. Josh Allen was playing great. Everything was going well. They had a cold weather blizzard. People were jumping off of tables, and Jason Kelsey was out there drinking out of bowling balls. Like everything was in their favor, in my opinion. And somehow, some way, they dropped the literal ball. So hey guys, I appreciate everybody's opinion. Let's jump on right here and see what we got in the comments. I said to Sean, it's fine, Bobby. So everybody knows. Big shouts out to my guy Bobby G. And
Browns guy.
Yeah, big Browns guy. Shout out to Big Mike too. Those boys roll hard for the Browns. And don't forget, catch Bobby G on with me on Fridays on the LTS in the Hoop Show, where we talk basketball and more. Then we got Tanner going. Joey B and Lamar are your fathers in that division. Pittsburgh is non-relevant for another winning record. Hey, look. I'm telling you, I like this coaching hire, and I think he's gonna take the chains off. I really do. We either going to get somebody good, or they're going to completely take the chains off and see what we got going on. And then we got Tanner. Mahomes on the road is now no conversation. Yeah, Tanner, you're right about that one. Okay,
yep, I'll give you that.
We'll give you that one. Mahomes on the road is no conversation at all to us. And Bobby G right back in there. Curious, y'all keep saying figure out quarterback. What is a star?
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, just like Mahomes. Injury is a different story, but there's nothing to figure out. He's the guy.
So here's the thing. He comes in the end of last year, right after a suspension, right? Mm-hmm. Doesn't look good. No. You don't think much of it, right? You're like, okay, he didn't get preseason. He didn't get time with the team. He's kind of thrown in, and you're not going to look that great. That's fair. Then you come into this year. He has OTAs. He has camp. He has preseason. He's got all of these things. He didn't really look good until the game he got hurt in, right? So, I mean, it's not like that inspires a ton of confidence. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't expect him to come out and be great. I have done zero things where I just stopped doing it for 2 years and got better at it, right? So I assumed he wasn't going to be, MVP candidate, Watson. But I didn't think he was going to look as bad as he did. And again, the game he got hurt in, he balled out. He looked great. The problem is he didn't the rest of the year. So was that an aberration, or is that who he is? And then we turn around and still miss a ton of season. So how much does that bring him, set him back? There's just so much other talent that You know, he needs to play. We'll put it that way.
Hey, I have to ask this question though. The thing is, if he doesn't succeed this year, and that's a huge if, hey, might be starting to, hey, time to start asking some questions. Is it time to eat that contract? Because the thing is this, you can only this. I mean, your running back is already hurt, so you don't know if you're getting him back next year. The windows on defenses are very, very small these days because people are plucking pass rushers from you every other year. Everybody's looking for a pass rusher because, as we all know, the pocket is collapsing a lot faster these days than it ever has been. So you got to ask yourself, hey, this doesn't work next year, and you're getting blown off the ball and you can't make plays. Is it time to go ahead and say, because this year you got to, a mullet. Last 2 years have been mulligans. This year, you got to ask yourself, if it doesn't go well this year, you got to ask yourself, is it time to eat that contract? Because the very next year will be the first time since you made this trade, you had a first-round pick. And if you think this quarterback class that you have coming up is rich, this next one about to get even richer. Because you're going to have Sedua Sanders, Cam Ward, Quentin Ewers, Carson Beck. You're going to have a lot of guys coming in this next quarterback draft.
I'm some smokers on that one.
So you have to start asking yourself this question. If I'm an owner of the team, I have to put myself as an owner, not a general manager. I'm asking myself this. I'm going to see how this plays out and see, do we at least get to the divisional round? Anything less than a divisional round, I don't want to hear it. You got the biggest contract in NFL history. Fully guaranteed. I mean, there's no, and then we let you slide. You only lost, we did you a solid. When you got in trouble, we made it so your contract would only be $1 million your first year. You only got fined $1 million. So we literally gave you this contract.
Ooh.
So
I can hear Bobby G typing right now. Hold on, let's
he's angry at this panel right now.
So if I'm Mr. Haslam, that is what his name is, right? Mr. Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns. If I'm Mr. Haslam, I'm staring at this year saying, hey, this is the year. You're on the third year of that 3-year contract. And next year, I got all of these quarterbacks coming out. I haven't had a quarterback really since Baker Mayfield. He just went to the playoffs and won.
With another team.
Became a comeback player of the year candidate. When I was saying I needed an adult in the room, and I came and got you after you got into all that trouble and gave you a huge contract.
Well, he was doing some adult stuff.
He certainly was. You got to be an adult to do those things.
He was definitely getting his AVN on, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
So it's funny, though, because he calls out Joe Burrow. And the thing is we do talk about Joe Burrow when he has a slow start. Like, we absolutely burn him for that. So, I mean, it's not unique to Watson, but, you know, the other difference is we're talking about a Joe Burrow that started slow. He's early in his career. We're talking about a guy that is a seasoned vet now that's missed some time and now routinely gets hurt, has a ton of guaranteed money that doesn't actually give him a ton of incentive to work harder, right? Like, it's all guaranteed. He makes the same amount if he's watching in Cabo than he does if he's putting up touchdowns. So I don't think it's quite the same thing, but you do have to be worried. And I have to imagine Bobby is worried that if he doesn't come out and ball out, that is an insane amount of money for a guy that's underperforming.
Yeah, but you have to think about it. You might have to eat it, because the thing is, if you keep going this route, then eventually people are going to start asking themselves, was Baker Mayfield really the problem? Or your lack of stability at the franchise?
Yeah.
Because he had 4 head coaches in his every single year as a rookie. I got a different head coach, a different offensive coordinator, a different quarterback coach. It's a revolving door. How can you have stability in that particular setting? And now he proves everybody right goes out to Los Angeles and get a real coach in Sean McVay, a coach. And Coach McVay, if he's not in the Coach of the Year conversation, something's wrong. Because for him to basically pick up guys in the 5th round and lead them to a playoffs after that slow start that he had without Cooper Kupp, it's flat out amazing. So you went out there to a quarterback whisperer in Sean McVay, got coaching, was able to come to Tampa Bay and not only win the division, but lead your team to the defending NFC against the defending NFC champions and go out there and blow them out like that. And if it hadn't have been for one or two things, you're on your way to an NFC championship. So people are going to start asking themselves, hey, did you pull that trigger too quick?
Man, listen, you spoke a mouthful right there, and y'all heard me hit my favorite button. Because when we bring up Baker Mayfield, we got to remember he had that clause in there. If they make it to the playoffs, he get a whole extra $1 million, and he sure enough got it. Jadeveon Clowney got like $750,000 for getting to the playoffs. There was some huge incentive marks hit this past season, and Baker Mayfield was definitely one of them. Man, Bobby G, let's get back to the comments real quick, y'all. Boom. Let's talk sports. Tanner says, here's the thing. If you're the Browns, do you have patience to wait for another QB? In essence, that is what Champ is posing. There's going to be some really good quarterback classes coming up. There's one going on right now that's about to happen. We could pull the trigger and still get Deshaun Watson, maybe let him go the year after, or eat the contract like he's saying. Bobby G says, read the whole statement. You didn't mention the pass when team starts rolling.
So I did read your whole comment, and we do burn him for, the slow start. Does he get a pass for the slow start because it starts rolling? No, he doesn't get a pass for that, because it comes up in conversation when they don't get the number 1 seed because of it, right? They're like, oh yeah, if he didn't start 0-4, they would be in a very different situation. The difference is yeah, he'll start rolling. And if you're gonna start being good, heading into the playoffs is when you want to do that. It's sort of the opposite of Dak, right? He rolls pretty well until December comes, and then he forgets how to play football. So, I mean, if you're going to have a run, you at least want it to be into the postseason, as opposed to, like Dak, where he falls off before the postseason, or in Deshaun's case, where he just has sporadic good games.
Well, guys, we traveling into unknown territory talking about the Cleveland Browns.
I hear me out coming. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Listen, I hear 2 competitors for our other show that we go hear me out, where we get 2 of y'all to go head to head and have these type of arguments. I like this right here.
No, it's good times. It's good times.
Hey, Bo, isn't it safe the reason why he gets isn't it safe to say the reason why he gets off to that slow start at the beginning of the season, because he on his back most of the first couple of games, because that offensive line can't block?
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. I mean, like we always say in Atlanta, the court, because we had some bad offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons. We always say the quarterback can't throw on his back. So I mean, there's a lot of reason to why those starts happen.
I actually think maybe Deshaun can. He spends a lot of time there. Like
he spends a lot of time on his front.
Maybe that's how he warms up. I don't know. Like
you roll.
Hey, all right. So guys, what are y'all doing this week?
Hey, it's the late night show. What do you got?
Right, yeah, exactly. It's the late show. All right, man. Undisputed World Champ by Guy. Once again, we appreciate you for coming. Tell us what you got going on for the rest of the week, bro.
All right. Look out for the similarities between the Philadelphia Eagles, the Andy Reid's Philadelphia Eagles, and the similarities between the Eagles.
Uh-oh. Dang, right when he was on fire. Okay.
You guys should be posted around 5.
Oh. You back. Yeah, you went out. Tell us again. What you went out?
Look out for the video explaining the similarities between the defense on the Kansas City Chiefs and the defense on the Philadelphia Eagles when Andy Reid was the coach with Jimmy Johnston, and the defense that he has right now with Steve Spagnuolo. So look out for that video. Look out for the video of the most talented yet underachieving coaching staff that they had for the Washington football team back in 2013. So look out for that video. It will go into a lot of details. It will be
you gotta get some of this man's comments. I don't know if you know, but our boy Jay is the hugest Washington football team fan, as you can see by his display of what you just said. Bo, my guy, what is on your docket for the rest of the week, my good sir?
Let's see. Tomorrow morning, I got the morning show. So that's got the daily show, and I don't know, just nonstop running around, man.
What I saw you at a fight the other night. What's going on with that? They gave you some comp tickets, and now you're gonna be boxing with Bo too? What's up?
Yeah, well, so maybe I might actually be taking over their pay-per-view broadcast. So
What?
Yeah, for that type of information.
Wow. Yeah. So
nice.
So we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about
yeah. Don't give it to the people. Don't give it to them.
It's in the works. It's a conversation that's happening. So working on that. But yeah, might be taking over the fight promotion broadcast.
Man, listen, leave us some breadcrumbs, man. Just don't give it all to us right now. Just leave us some more right now. And then Jay, my guy, I know you're back. We're gonna see if you 100%. You gonna try and make it on to LTS in the Hoop this week?
Look, I'm definitely gonna make it this time. I'm sorry. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to you, Wit. I don't know why this thing says co-producer. I think you're pretty much doing it. You understand? You're not. Yeah, I don't know what co means.
Bro, I appreciate that.
But Tanner, please stop. Please. It's like
yeah, man, Tanner's going there right now. Look,
I don't.
In the words of Tanner, stop.
Good show, fellas. All hey, look,
man.
Bobby G, we got a show for you. It's called Hear Me Out, where two of our favorite pundits, whether it be you and Bo or Champ and you or Bobby or Mike, you go head to head and we get these arguments out where you can argue all your DW4. And nobody except for a Cleveland Browns fan knew that DW4 was Deshaun Watson. So I had to thank you, Jay, for helping me out with that one. That was awesome.
I'm an RG3 guy, so
yeah,
it was like that was like
yeah, good seeing y'all here. Yeah, he's back. He did his apprenticeship. He's back on task, and we're doing it again. And y'all know me, boys. I will be kicking it with my guy Bacchus tomorrow. I'm doing the Hay Kicks and Haymakers, so we're talking MMA, more fights on UFC 300 coming up in April. We got to talk about that, of course, and some real big boxing news that I'm going to bring up, especially tomorrow. Then on Friday, we got LTS in the Hoop, where we are talking basketball, more basketball, of course, because we're getting closer and closer to the All-Star weekend, and that's a big deal, of course, because they're going back to the good old-fashioned East and West game. And man, fellas, you know what? But you know what, bro? We had fun, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit this button, man. Hey, man, for your boy K Witt, my guy Jay, who is back on the MIC, undisputed world champ, and my guy boxing/football talk with Bo. Thank you for watching. We will be back again next Tuesday. We're gonna talk about something. We'll probably talk about anything other than football because we got like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. But when the Super Bowl happens, we will be back with the game. Jay, what you got to say? What happened?
Long live Rock.
Long live Rock, man. That's what's up. If you from Orangeburg, you know what I'm talking about. RIP Rock. We in the building, man. Let me hit this button. We about to be out. Thank you for watching.